That's Mac right there.
Uh-huh.
All of our listeners are pretty okay.
Wow, way to totally insult them.
Wait, I'm sorry.
You
Let me take it
undersold
back.
our
My
listeners.
name is Mac,
pretty
and I'm here
okay.
to say, listeners of the show.
Why are you so bad at this right now?
He's
You're
sweating.
usually so good
He's
at
sweating.
I just need a glass of water.
Ew! Okay, so you can make those noises. You can make those horrible noises. And the noise when someone has no bones.
No bone.
You can make those noises, but I can't make chewing noises into the mic.
Look, man.
They're the same
a fair
noises.
world.
It's all about perspective. What? What are you doing? He's currently counting on his hand.
He's miming.
Shut up. What are you? You're such a turd. I'm gonna pants you.
Anyways, hi guys. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Tell the people what we do.
We talk about spooky things, spooky history,
I ain't about
spooky
that.
legends,
No, sir.
and then spooky stories from spooky listeners.
And sometimes the
like
spooky
you.
cats like to jump on spooky things and make spooky noises and make us
Fall
scream.
behind a bookcase.
Oh my lord. Ugh, that was horrible. Right before we started recording, actually, we heard this sort of like soft banging noise, like almost like something trying to open a door or get through a wall, maybe.
Yeah.
And we yelled to the other room, Chris Mack, and it was not him. He was asleep.
He was like, not me.
So,
I'm taking a nap.
I have work in the morning.
So I politely asked Cannibal Chris here to check to see what it was, and it was actually Chub Chub trying to open a cabinet.
Yeah.
And she was very guilty when she was found out. She was immediately when he walked in. She was like, meow. Not me.
No.
Anyway, look, this is So Anyway It's Haunted.
What?
Yeah.
We are your friends that talk about spooky stuff because you don't have any friends that talk about spooky stuff because some people are weird about it. We don't know why.
Relinquish me from these chains.
Uh,
I'm tired of this slave labor you call a podcast.
oh my lord.
Go ahead.
I don't
Continue.
Get the bit. I don't
Disregard
get the
that.
That's just the beast in the basement.
bit. Ooh. Oh, that was really good. Beast in the basement.
Beast in the basement.
Ooh.
It's
like a Dungeons and Dragons spinoff. Beasts
gonna
in the basement.
but I won't.
Goblins and gateways.
Anything new? Did anything else creepy happen to us? I know I had some creepy dreams, but I can't really remember them.
Yeah, you woke up saying something the other night.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh, well.
I can't remember what it was. Yeah.
I think everything's going really well. We're heading to Austin Saturday.
Yeah. Taking a vacay.
Yeah, taking a vacay.
For clarification, that's not all of us.
Yeah.
Going out,
somebody
eating
has
some
to work.
pizza.
Yeah, going to all the vegan places, and then we're going to go take naps, and then go maybe walk around a little bit.
Yeah.
Catch us at Dragon's Lair for an hour.
It's basically like a staycation because we always go to Austin.
Yeah, it's like a home away from home. Anyway, hit us up if you want to hang out. So should we jump right into it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's get started, baby.
Let's get it started in here.
I'm reading spooks, so you better get this party started.
I'm reading spooks. No, I'm reading spooks. I'm reading.
Oh.
Babe.
Everyone's jumping on me. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
let's follow up on Route 66.
Oh yeah, Route 66.
Continuing the route.
Life is a highway. I want to ride it redacted.
Everyone go watch the amazing true story Cars. and I'll fill you in on the spooky details.
Owen Wilson was so into what is it called when you method acting. He actually got surgery to have his eyeballs moved to the sides of his head.
Oh
He was
my
like,
lord!
I can see like a car. Wow.
Wow!
Unbelievable.
Wow!
Okay, so the next place we're going to talk about on Route 66 is the Mine Shaft Tavern. In Madrid, New Mexico, there's a bar called the Mine Shaft Tavern. It originally burnt down on Christmas Day, 1945.
Oh no!
But the current one has been operating since 1947.
Nice.
According to employees, is haunted by a couple ghosts, one of which developed an obsession with a specific employee. According to the employee, the ghost would greet her with a cold stroke on the cheek each day.
That's horrible.
And if she didn't reply good morning, it would shove her and knock glasses out of her hand.
What the heck?
I mean,
Dude.
I
Pretty
wouldn't-
messed up.
You gotta stand up for yourself.
You
Don't
gotta
say
say
good morning.
no.
I'd be like,
Bad
hey,
morning.
How can you protect yourself against a ghost that's
try a
trying to
little
attack
harder than that, buddy. And then you just hear like of him like ripping my torso off of my legs.
you? Ew.
You have to chew sage every morning. Just get some
Yeah.
sage chewing gum.
Chewing tobacco, yeah.
Yeah.
Just spit it out right into the canteen, whatever they call it. Spittoon.
Spittoon.
I don't know if I've ever heard, unless this is a demon, I don't know if I've ever heard of a ghost that targets
Yeah.
a specific person.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Huh. Okay.
There's also a local legend of a haunted mirror in the tavern that people have caught glimpses of a ghost miner.
Honestly, aren't all mirrors haunted? You know?
No.
I mean, we talked about, Monica talked about that several months ago.
What about that mirror?
I don't know. I got it from Salvation Army. It's amazing. Reminds me of like a diner.
It's because
Like
the original
discotheque.
owner got sucked into it
Oh no.
and is now trapped in that mirror.
You know, the other mirror that I got looked haunted, and I even considered not buying it because it looked haunted. And then I decided to, and standing in line at Goodwill, I turned it over, and it had an Urban Outfitters sticker. And I was like,
I thought you were going to say it had like some sort of weird incantation that, or like carvings.
no. I was like,
Never
oh,
go back.
it was like Urban Outfitters and a sale sticker on it. And I was like, this is not haunted.
The true mark of the beast.
So you can see a miner?
Yeah.
Does he just stand there? Is he
guess.
looking at himself?
He probably does the whole like, go
Oh.
check out these mines.
Yeah, like that 4D adventure we went on
Yeah.
at the
At
Putt Putt
Fun
Funhouse.
House.
Jinx.
Yeah.
McNally, you've never been to Putt Putt Funhouse, huh?
I
We gotta take you.
have not had fun. No.
Stop pretending like you know.
Putt Putt Funhouse is an experience.
It's really weird. Like, there's this giant gorilla thing hanging in like the main.
It's probably
lobby.
5 times the size of a normal gorilla.
It's a big gorilla, and
Actually, I think I might have gone then.
then there's like an abandoned part of the entire place that if you go down this one hallway, at the end of the hallway, there's this machine that is
Oh, yeah.
hidden, and it will blow air in your face for some reason.
And it's really loud and scary.
It's just meant to mess with you.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's
It's
there.
a
They have an
ghost.
arcade,
It's a ghost.
It's a ghost fart.
so
Yeah. The owner's just like, yeah, we have this machine. Don't worry about it. It blows air right in your face. I don't know why, but it does. It's a prank.
Old Pappy
a
always like
prank.
farting in people's faces.
there you go down in the mines. Ooh,
I've got a mine for you to explore.
McAnally. Oh my lord.
Oh well.
Woo!
All right,
It's the miner 49er.
let's get back on track.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Back on the
sorry.
road.
Sorry.
The next stop is the Skirvin Hotel.
The Skirvin Hotel?
Skirvin.
You wanted it to be haunted. You don't name it Skirvin and then be like, oh, it's happy.
It's probably a last name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then they're
stupid.
haunted.
It's a last name.
Let's find out what I wrote because I completely forgot. Located in Oklahoma City is the city's oldest hotel and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. It was opened in 1911 and is named for its founder, William Balzer Bill Skirvin.
Balzer Bill.
Balzer. Whose daughter,
Balzer Bill, that's Skirvin. Go ahead.
whose daughter Pearl Mesta became the ambassador to Luxembourg under Harry Truman.
What the heck? Wow.
However, the hotel closed in 1988 and remained a giant abandoned building for 19 years.
Oh, no.
Until Hilton Hotels bought in.
Okay.
Great job, guys.
So now it's just a normal corporate hotel.
Yo, but what if that corporate hotel is haunted? Can you imagine being in a Hilton and there's like ghost activity?
Well, I'm so glad you mentioned that.
You're welcome for that segue.
Many have reported hauntings in this hotel, in addition to numerous NBA players. I don't know why.
What?
Is there just like, I don't know if there's just one hotel in Oklahoma City that NBA players can stay at, but there's so many accounts of NBA players in this hotel. The most notable examples occurred in 2010 when the New York Knicks famously blamed their loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder on the haunting.
What?
And when the Chicago Bulls reported doors slamming shut on their own and strange sounds outside their rooms.
Dude,
No,
that's scary,
it's because
man.
they could not comprehend the sheer size of Michael Jordan when he was on the team, and Charles Barkley.
What year was this, though?
This was back in the day. Charles Barkley went to go open the door, and Michael Jordan was like, huh. And like shut it. But because he's so tall, he like leaned over the doorway. Like he didn't have to stand in the doorway to close it. And Charles Barkley's like, "There's a ghost in here."
Yep.
That's like the creepy scene in It Follows when the super tall guy is walking down the hallway.
Yeah.
Super creepy.
Oh yeah, that
His feet go.
I forgot about.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see. In an interview with the New York Times, Denver Nuggets player Jordan Hamilton said, "This hotel creeps me out every time we come here." And that's it.
That's seriously the quote? That's the full quote?
That's worth quoting.
Oh, my lord.
The story received national attention again in June 2012 when the Miami Heat were staying in the hotel for the NBA Finals. And most recently, the Baylor Lady Bears, who were defending National Collegiate Athletic Association Women's Division I basketball champions, were put up at the Skirvin. In one of the biggest upsets in tournament history, the Lady Bears unexpectedly lost 81-82 to Louisville
That was really close.
in the regional semifinals of the 2013.
Couldn't have been. It couldn't have been the fact that they just played a good game and then lost.
No,
It was super.
it was it was the curse of the Skirvin.
Are they a female NBA? Is it WNBA?
It is NCAA
Oh, okay.
women's division.
Okay, I just want to check.
So it's college basketball. As the story goes, the hotel's original owner, W.B. Skirvin, had an affair with a maid named Effie, which led to a
Weren't
pregnancy.
they all? Uh-oh.
Yeah. To protect his reputation and avoid scandal,
Oh, no.
Skirvin locked the maid on the 10th floor. The maid became depressed, and even after the birth of her child, she was still not let out of her room. She eventually jumped out of a window, killing herself and the baby without notice in the newspapers.
Oh my gosh.
In some versions of the legend, this maid is described as a woman of loose morals.
Oh, my lord. You know, this was her boss.
Yeah.
You know he forced her into that relationship and then
Yeah.
got her pregnant. Oh, my lord.
And men who have stayed in the room have reported being propositioned by a female voice while alone in their room.
She's probably like a siren. She's like, hey,
Oh,
come
yeah.
over here. Let me freaking, I'm going to kill you this time.
Yep.
I'm going to lock you up here. What a,
They
Yeah.
try to go to sleep, but they feel a cold finger in their butt.
To some, that's very pleasant.
Christ,
Others,
what is happening here?
Others claim to have seen the figure of a naked woman with them while taking a shower. One man claimed
Wait,
he
like
was...
The Shining?
Yeah,
Are they
I
just-
guess.
They're
Weird.
just gonna like admit that?
I don't know.
What are you they're just going to say?
One man claimed he was sexually assaulted by an invisible entity during his stay.
That's not. I'm sorry. That's not funny.
Over the years, hotel staff say that they have seen objects moving by themselves and have heard strange noises at night. According to Steve Lackmeyer, who also co-wrote a book about the hotel, and Jason Kersey, both reporters from the Oklahoman, Skirvin was a notorious womanizer and drinker. And the 10th floor was known for various incidents of gambling and other vices. But there is no real-life evidence corresponding to the Effie story.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
I truly, truly hope that was fake.
Yeah.
I really hope that did not happen.
Skirvin's family didn't believe that he had an employee, his assistant and bookkeeper, Mabel Ludi, who was also his mistress, but she outlived him.
Oh.
Weird.
Yeah. So the next one is the Hotel Monte Vista.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this was a Scriven.
Here, you can switch it this way
That's
and make it.
It's not real. It's a render.
Well,
Yeah. And that's Hotel Monte Vista.
that's a really cool looking hotel.
Yeah.
So,
It's pretty sick.
Tell me about this hotel.
Yeah.
So it's located in Flagstaff, Arizona. This historic and famous hotel is located a block away from Route 66.
Oh, okay.
It was built in 1927 and is considered a centerpiece of the town's historic district.
You said 27?
Yeah.
Wow.
It contains 3 stories, 73 rooms, and has played host to numerous famous guests, such as John Wayne,
Oh,
Spencer Tracy, I don't know, Humphrey Bogart,
okay. Heard of him.
Clark Gable,
Yep.
Anthony Hopkins,
What?
anyone,
No.
Anyone?
That can't be.
Esther Williams,
Okay.
and Barbara Stanwyck. Mm-hmm. I only recognize about half of those names.
That's all right. Somebody knows somebody. Somebody knows something.
Yeah. Okay, so the first ghost in this hotel, supposedly, and I got this all from the hotel's website, so take that with a grain of salt.
Interesting.
So this first one is the bank robber ghost. This seems kind of like one
wonder
of the
what
most
it's a-
ridiculous ones.
Wonder what this one is about.
In 1970, 3 men robbed a nearby bank. During the robbery, a bank guard shot one of them. Despite their injured comrade, they decided to celebrate by stopping in the lounge to have a drink. The wounded man bled to death while enjoying his last drink. Since then, both patrons and staff have reported being greeted by an anonymous voice saying good morning. There have also been reports of bar stools and drinks that seem to move on their own.
Huh.
Shake your body.
Matilda style.
Yeah, no, that's the wrong movie.
Beetlejuice, babe.
I'm referring to Highlander. I don't know.
Oh,
what
my
Beetlejuice
lord.
is. Beetlejuice?
Don't say it again.
So there's another one that was labeled on the website as Woman of the Night.
Oh, here we go.
Nice.
Here we go.
Years ago, Flagstaff's red light district could be found just south of the railroad tracks, just 2 blocks from the Monte Vista. In the early 1940s, 2 prostitutes were brought to room 306.
Sexual workers.
Sex workers.
2 sex workers were brought to room
Come
306.
on.
During their visit, they were killed and thrown from the 3rd floor window to the cold street below.
That's horrible.
How do we know it was cold?
Oh, really? Okay.
Over the years, numerous guests have reported being awakened in the middle of the night and unable to return to sleep due to a feeling that they are being watched. The majority of the time, our male guests report the feeling of having a hand placed over their mouths and throats and awaken unable to breathe.
Ugh.
The next one is the Phantom Bellboy. Hotel guests have reported a knock at their door and a muffled voice announcing room service. When guests open the door, no one is present. However, some guests have seen the figure of a bellboy standing outside of room 210. John Wayne experienced this ghost during a few of his stays. Mr. Wayne reported that the ghost seemed friendly and that he did not feel threatened by its presence. Our housekeepers frequently experience the antics of the bellboy. One report states seeing a young male in an old-fashioned red coat with brass buttons walking up and down the halls. The next one is called the Meat Man in Route 220.
They just keep getting better.
Yep.
This second part of your story is way more intense than the first part.
Yeah. This story is really strange. This bizarre long-term boarder was known by his strange habit of hanging raw meat from the chandelier.
What kind of meat?
Does not say.
Oh, was he like Italian or something? Or like,
I don't know.
Italians dry their meats out before they cure them.
No.
I don't know, man. I don't know. What? That's a good thing.
Isn't that right, Italian listeners?
That's what prosciutto is.
Okay.
Okay, y'all are classless.
In the early 1980s, the lodger was found in his room 3 days after his death.
Uh-oh.
Not long after, a maintenance worker was working on a few repairs. When in need of a new fixture, he left the room, turned the lights off, and locked the door. Returning only a few minutes later, he found the television on at full volume, and the linens on the bed had been ripped and scattered around the room.
Oh, gosh.
Today, it is common for the television to act on its own accord, as well as reports of cold male hands touching guests in their sleep.
How do they know they're male hands?
I don't know.
Well, maybe they got them yowie hands.
Maybe they're rough and calloused ghost hands.
Yeah. Ew. See, you can make that noise, but I can't. I can't chew a cookie.
No.
Lame.
I never said it was a fair one.
Double standards.
Triple
So,
standards.
the rocking chair in room 305. Once featured on the television show Unsolved Mysteries,
Some mysteries.
room 305 is by far the most active room in the hotel. There are numerous reports of seeing a woman in the rocking chair near the window. Guests and housekeeping have reports of seeing the chair move by itself and knocking coming from inside the closet.
No, we don't do that. No. Sorry.
Is it like a wooden knock or like do they say
As opposed to
as opposed to like a meaty whack?
a thwack, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It doesn't.
You just
say.
want to make a spanking joke.
No.
Don't let him do it. Don't give it to him. Ew.
History tells us that years ago, an elderly woman who was a long-term renter would sit by the window for hours on end. No one knows what she was looking at or looking for. Could it be that she is waiting for someone to return, even in death?
Nope, she's just a long lady.
A long lady?
Yeah.
Okay.
13 feet at least.
You're
fine.
He's a bellboy.
The baby in the basement. The disturbing sounds of an infant crying in the basement have been heard again and again.
No.
Reported primarily by maintenance and laundry personnel, this is possibly the most disturbing encounter that has been reported.
Yeah.
Staff had found themselves running upstairs to escape the sound of the cries.
Oh, dude.
Though the sounds are very real to those who hear them, there has been no information that has explained this phenomenon.
A demon. Yes.
Demon
That's
baby?
what that is.
Okay.
Nope.
The shadow man in the basement.
Oh, imagine that.
An unknown resident of the hotel seems to be haunting the basement more recently and has been spotted standing behind several employees and delivery guys.
What?
He stands over 6 feet tall and has a menacing, uncomfortable presence.
No, dude.
When he opens his mouth, does he make the baby noises?
I was wondering about that. I don't know. Maybe.
That's
It's a giant baby.
so scary.
Goo goo gaga.
Baby blue.
Blue baby baby blue blue baby baby blue.
Blue, 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 blue.
Go ahead.
The last one is a ghostly elevator attendant. Many people, particularly housekeeping and front desk agents, have reported a polite attendant assisting their ride in the elevator despite it being self-service. He can be heard requesting which floor may I take you to, or even a phantom hand seen closing the elevator's gate.
Wow.
Also, keep an eye on the mirror when you exit to your floor. You just might see him standing behind you.
That's horrifying.
All right.
That was
It's just like a
nice.
pantsless
So the next
man standing
one-
behind you.
Oops. Nope.
I'm still fixated on John Wayne and the bellboy. Now stop standing there and give me my cigar. I'm serious, boy.
Little sister.
Now see here, little sister. If give me my wacky tobacco.
So this is the Oatman Hotel. It is located in Oatman, Arizona, a small gold mining boom town, supposedly named after Olive Oatman, which is this girl.
Thanos!
Is she? What's with her face?
She's collecting the Infinity Stones.
You're a dork.
Well, I will tell you. So the history of the hotel is not that interesting, but the history of the town, or who it's named after, is kind of interesting.
Okay.
It is supposedly named after Olive Oatman, a young Illinois pioneer girl who is part of a Mormon exodus to parts of California.
Oh.
Oops.
As the Oatman family were traveling through Arizona, they were waylaid by local natives,
I knew it. I knew it.
likely Yavapais, asking them for food and tobacco. Details are unclear, but one thing that is known is that the encounter turned violent, and everyone except for Olive and Mary Ann Oatman were killed.
Oh, no.
The sisters were taken captive and held as slaves and eventually traded to local Mojave natives. Once they reached the Mojave land, they were taken in as family and given ritualistic face and upper arm tattoos.
Oh, wow.
With blue cactus ink to ensure that they were recognized as tribal members in the afterlife, and also so that they could be reunited with their ancestors.
Oh, so they ended up liking them.
Yeah, they were...
Well, not the first tribe, the Mojave tribe.
Yeah, they were taken in as, like, foster children.
Oh.
Eventually, when the federal government caught wind that local tribes were holding a pair of white girls, they ordered that they be returned. And at first, the Mojave played dumb and denied that the girls were even white, and then they would hide them whenever search parties would come and look for them.
Oh my gosh.
But they eventually decided it was more trouble than it was worth, and they traded the girls to the government for horses and supplies.
Oh. I wonder if the girls were happy to be back or sad to, like, leave their... I'm sure they had some kind of friends, right?
Yeah.
The Mojave tribe?
In one of the tribes?
Yeah, well, the Mojave tribe basically was their
Raised them,
family
yeah.
for, like,
Yeah.
years. So the Oatman Hotel is famously home to Odie, the friendly ghost. Is that... No.
Odie!
Yeah. So,
Is
he likes
just
to...
like a giant oat?
Yeah, he is, actually. He likes
Yeah,
to...
Sorry.
He likes to move glasses, turn lights on and off, and flush toilets randomly. There have also been sightings of Clark Gable and Carol Lombard, as well as ghostly laughter coming from their honeymoon suite.
Ew, freaky.
And Teddy Roosevelt.
I am Teddy Roosevelt. I'm Teddy Roosevelt.
All right, so the last one I'm going to talk about is the Hornet Spook Light.
Horny spook.
The horny spook light.
What?
No, the Hornet Spook Light.
No jokes here.
On the border between Missouri and Oklahoma, there is a stretch of road known as the Devil's Promenade.
Oh.
And
Oh my gosh.
if you find yourself there at night, you might get to see the Hornet Spook Light. Even though it is named after a small, unincorporated community in Missouri, from which it is most commonly reached, the light is most commonly described as being visible from inside the Oklahoma border looking to the west. The spook light is a grouping of lights that is said to appear in the area regularly, usually at night. Although the description of the light is similar to that of other visual phenomena, when standing alone generally refers to this... description... The light is similar to that of other visual phenomena witnessed throughout the world. The term spook light, when standing alone, generally refers to this specific case. Numerous legends exist that attempt to describe the origin of the spook light, one of which involves the ghosts of two young Native American lovers looking for each other. There are numerous accounts from locals. It seems fairly easy to witness, and in 1946, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers supposedly studied the Hornet Light, but could not find a cause for it. In their words, it was a mysterious light of unknown origin. Early residents of the area reported seeing lights in the forest, over their land, or even in their yards. Most theories are that they are just bouncing car lights in the distance. Yeah. Robert Gannon, writing for Popular Mechanics magazine, also claims that the spook lights are headlights from Route 66. Citing a test in which he flashed his headlights on Route 66 at a certain time, and the spook lights were reported to flash as well.
Interesting.
Other explanations for the light's appearance include atmospheric gases being affected by electrical fields.
Okay.
A University of Arkansas professor studied the light in the 1960s and suggested that it was from a fixed object.
Interesting.
We have some
Dude,
different-
that's a creepy... That's like really creepy.
Yeah. And then there's that one.
that
You
one's
can
creepy
actually see the
too.
devil.
These are okay. Obviously, just like always, we'll put these on our Instagram and Facebook page. These are like old school pictures from like the 70s, 60s, 50s.
No, this one
I don't
seemed
know.
really old.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, it has.
1776 on that first one.
Shut up. So, yeah, this is really creepy.
Yeah.
Huh.
And that's all I
Spook
got
lights.
for Route 66
They're
today.
really
y'all.
spooky. Thank you for that. Thanks for taking us on a road trip down the historically haunted Route 66.
How has there not been someone that attacks people on Route 66 that they referred to as the Brute 66? He'll get you. He's already got 65 victims.
Maybe
He's looking for 66.
maybe that's sorry.
Whoa!
Don't look at that. Sorry. I follow a lot of body positive pages on Instagram. Anyway, I'm not gonna apologize. So Chub Chub has taken her rightful throne on Chris's lap, and it is time for Monster Mac. Oh, she's giving you tiny licks.
Get ready to be disappointed.
Wow, way to oversell.
I'm always ready.
Hey, man. What can I say? All right, so back to our spooky, paranormal...
Spooky Tookie.
Yeah.
You're just killing time while you itch your ear. Spooky, scary,
Get in there
spooky,
deep.
scary. Boys becoming men.
Oh.
Men becoming wolves. It's from 30 Rock. You probably never heard of it.
We're going to get sued.
Excuse me. I am Alec Baldwin.
You
Actually,
you are.
don't-
That's really
don't-
funny.
Don't say that. Don't ever.
That's true.
You brought it up. Man.
I just couldn't stop playing Words with Friends on that plane. I couldn't
Oh
help
my
it.
lord.
All right, so in New Jersey, folklore of the Jersey Devil, a.k.a. the Leeds Devil,
The Leeds Devil.
yes, is a legendary creature said to inhabit the Pines Barrens of southern New Jersey. The creature is often described as a flying biped with hooves, but there are many variations. The common description of that of like a kangaroo or wyvern creature with a goat or horse-like head.
Oh,
Leathery
no.
bat wings. Don't
Yeah.
worry, there's a picture.
Oh no.
I've seen pictures of it. It's
Horns, small arms with clawed hands, cloven hooves, and a forked tail.
Man, it's got everything.
It has been reported to move quickly and is often described as emitting a high-pitched, blood-curdling scream. It goes.
Now we're
Shout
really
out.
going to get sued.
Shout out
Yep.
to Raising Arizona.
No, the Coen brothers are already after us.
Cohen siblings.
I mean,
Oh, no.
Hello, it's 2019. Thank
is
you.
it?
Is it?
Yes,
I
yet.
thought it was like...
Are they like the Wachowskis?
According to popular folklore, the Jersey Devil originated with a Pine Barrens resident named Jane Leeds, known as Mother Leeds. The legend states that Mother Leeds had 12 children, and after finding she was pregnant with the 13th, cursed the child in frustration, crying that the child would be the devil.
That's rude.
Why?
You're the one having so many kids.
During 1735. Wow. Mother Leeds was in labor on a stormy night while her friends gathered around her, saying, ooh, ooh. No, they didn't. Gathered around her. Born as a normal child, the 13th child changed to a creature with hooves, a goat's head, bat wings, and a forked tail. Growing and screaming, it killed the midwife before flying up the... What'd the midwife do? Kill your nasty mom!
She was just close. Too close.
she's like, I'm still...
Wait, so it was born a child and then turned into the devil?
Immediately.
Immediately, it was like... And then it...
Interesting.
yeah. It killed the midwife before flying up the chimney and heading out the pines.
So there was like a split second where she looked at the child and she's like, oh, thank God. It's
Congratulations, it's a...
Wait.
Go ahead. Mother Leeds was supposedly a witch, and the child's father was a devil himself. Okay. Some versions of the legend also state that there was subsequently an attempt by the local clergyman to exorcise the creature from the Pine Barrens, or that the creature proceeded to kill local children. Fun. Prior to the early 1900s, and before the series of reported sightings of the creature during the 1909 The Jersey Devil was referred to as the Leeds Devil, or Devil of the Leeds, either in connection with the local Leeds family or the eponymous southern New Jersey town, Leeds Point. Mother Leeds has been identified by some as Deborah Leeds on grounds that Deborah Leeds' husband, Japhet Leeds, named 12 children in the will he wrote during 1736, which is compatible with the legend. Deborah and Japhet Leeds also lived in the Leeds Point section of what is now Atlantic County, New Jersey, which is most commonly the location of the Jersey Devil story. Brian Regal, a historian of science at Keene University, theorizes that the story of Mother Leeds, rather than being based on single historical person, originated from colonial southern New Jersey religio-political disputes that became the subject of folklore and gossip among the local population.
Wait, what were the disputes that turned into this?
They said, stop having 13 children. And she was like, oh, yeah, I'll show you. I'll bring the devil.
I imagine after you give birth to a devil, it kind of puts a damper on wanting to have more kids.
You already have 12 normal children and one demon child.
I think that's the point of her own self-curse. She's like, if I have the devil, I won't have any more children. It's a punishment.
Yeah, well, if you stop having sex when you're ovulating, there you go.
Maybe she wanted to have a devil child.
No, I don't think that's how the legend
It has
goes.
to be the 13th child.
I don't think that's how the legend... Ew, is that what happens?
Yeah, I've seen
just farted
the
out?
videos.
Oh, no.
Videos.
Me too.
It's crowning.
That
Wow,
was the loudest noise.
that was fast. Congratulations, Miss Leeds. You have very wide birthing hips. Regal contends that a colonial-era political intrigue involving early New Jersey politicians Benjamin Franklin and Franklin's rival almanac publisher Daniel Leeds resulted in the Leeds family being described as monsters. And it was Daniel Leeds' negative description as the Leeds Devil rather than any actual creature that created later as a legend of the Jersey Devil. Much like the Mother Leeds of Jersey Devil myth, Daniel Leeds' third wife had given birth to 9 children, a large number of children even for the time. Leeds' second wife and first daughter. I thought it was saying that they were the same person. I was about to scream. Leeds' second wife and first daughter had both died during childbirth and
Sorry. Yeah, I get it.
died during childbirth. Ha!
No, his second wife and first daughter.
Yeah.
You thought that was the same person. That's weird.
Leeds also surveyed and acquired land in Egg Harbor. Who names these places?
Egg Harbor.
Egg Harbor.
We shall call it Egg Harbor.
Egg.
Like they were just like, I don't know. And like one guy's eating a boiled egg and he's like,
A boiled egg.
what are we calling it? And they're like, you got it. This guy, and he's like, my last name? Like, no, Egg.
My last name.
The land was inherited by Leeds' son and family and is now known as Leeds Point, one of the areas in Pine Barrens currently most associated with the Jersey Devil legend and allegedly Jersey Devil sightings. The English Quakers were involved at one point. Nobody cares. So, let's see. There's a lot.
So the true legend is based off of this family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so strange.
True legend.
Because all this time, I thought it was like this little purple guy from the PS1 game.
I was
thought it-
fixing to ask, does that go
Okay.
through the timeline of...
Yeah, if you boot up the game on Friday the 13th, he goes, I'm the son of Leeds. And then he spreads his butt cheeks, and the game gets really awkward from there.
Wow.
So anyways, there have been many claims of sightings of and occurrences involving the Jersey Devil. According to legend, went visiting the Hanover Mill Works, to inspect his cannonballs. Commodore Stephen Decatur sighted a flying creature
euphemism?
and fired the cannonballs directly upon it to no effect.
He just shot cannonballs at something he thought he saw.
Oh, crap! Someone's got to go pick that up.
Oh, no.
Joseph... I'm not wasting my cannonballs.
They had a special position in the army just to go pick up cannonballs.
Sir, please. I swear, I see that Jersey Devil. I'm gonna blow it away. Go, Joseph, pick it up. Joseph Bonaparte, elder brother of Napoleon Bonaparte,
Oh.
also claimed to have seen the Jersey Devil while hunting in his border town estate in 1820. During 1840, the Jersey Devil was blamed for several livestock killings. Similar attacks reported during 1841, accompanied by tracks and screams. In Greenwich, during December 1925, a local farmer shot an unidentified animal as it attempted to steal his chicken, and then photographed the corpse. Afterwards, he claimed that none of the 100 people he showed it to could identify it. On July 22nd, 1937, an unknown animal with red eyes seen by residents in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, was compared to the Jersey Devil by a reporter.
I guess it wasn't the thing that the guy shot.
Yeah. I did it! No! Let's see. A group of Gibbstown, New Jersey boys claim to have seen a monster matching the devil's description, and claims of a corpse matching the Jersey Devil's description arose in 1957. During 1960, tracks and a noise heard near Mays Landing were claimed to be from the Jersey Devil. During the same year, the merchants around Camden offered $10,000 reward for the capture of the Jersey Devil, even offering to build a private zoo to house the creature if it was captured.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, he's real. Sightings of 1909. During the week of January 16th through 23rd, 1909, newspapers of the time published hundreds of claims of encounters with the Jersey Devil from all over the state. Among alleged encounters publicized that week were claims that the creature attacked a trolley car in Hayden Heights at a social club. Police in Camden and Bristol, Pennsylvania, supposedly fired on the creature to no effect. Why would you call in and admit that?
Yeah, we shot at it. Nothing happened.
We unloaded several rounds. Nothing.
He's fast. Go get the cannonballs.
Finally! James.
Go get him, rookie.
Oh, man. Let's see. Vigilante groups and groups of hunters roamed the pines and countryside in search of the devil. During this period, it is rumored that the Philadelphia Zoo posted a $10,000 reward for the creature. The offer prompted a variety of hoaxes, including a kangaroo equipped with artificial claws and bat wings.
Oh, my lord.
That poor kangaroo.
I know.
Were they just banking on the fact that they thought the people at the zoo hadn't seen a kangaroo before?
I mean, they're like,
Yes.
It could be.
it's got the wings.
Yeah, it's got the wings, man.
Let's see.
Man,
But does it
kangaroos are
scream?
horrifying.
Yeah, they are.
Does it scream? No.
That's right. The explanations. So, skeptics believe the Jersey Devil to be nothing more than a creative manifestation of early English settlers of the boogeyman. Said the writer as it was eating out his guts. This is a manifestation, just like the boogeyman. Let's see. The frightening reputation of the Pines Barrens may indeed have contributed to the Jersey Devil legend. Historically, the Pines Barrens were considered inhospitable lands, and gangs and highwaymen, such as politically disdained loyalist brigands, known as the Pine Robbers, were known to rob and attack travelers passing through the Barrens during the 1700s.
Well,
The gangs and highwaymen broke up after they had slowly been eaten by the Jersey Devil.
Oh, no.
Wow. I mean, they just straight up say it here.
wow, interesting.
Poor farmers, fugitives, brigands, Native Americans, poachers, moonshiners, runaway slaves, and deserting soldiers. These are a list of people.
So I
All
guess,
these people existed.
So, because it was a baby that was also a devil, it just lives forever?
You're thinking too much.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd probably say yeah. He's probably got some like superhuman, super demon, like aging, anti-aging stuff, right?
Or it's just a type of creature, and they've been reproducing like crazy.
But there's only one of them. Who does he reproduce with?
Just remember that they
It's true.
believed in this thing way before they believed in women being able to vote. We
This
lived
is
in a
true.
society
This is true.
where it was easier to believe that a goat man hooked bat-winged demon
Hey man,
tail.
that guy saw it and he shot it.
Did he?
Show me the pictures.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Do you have pictures?
I show do.
I don't know if I've
Oh.
ever seen a picture of the Jersey
I
Devil.
don't know that I want to.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's pretty goofy looking.
No.
Oh, I mean, scary.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Yeah.
I don't think I've looked at it once without pooping my pants.
Okay.
You're gonna love this.
Oh, no.
He's coming for me.
What is that from? That's from something.
That's the Jersey Devil.
No, like
Here
the
he
animation.
is.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
Well,
he's
he-
cute in that picture.
And here, that's just.
You know what's
This is the
weird?
official classification
Yeah.
one, by the way.
That's the one I've always seen.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that in the intro to American Horror Story Coven and Apocalypse, there's that weird demon thing in the woods.
It's
Oh,
supposed
yeah.
to be the Jersey Devil, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Because it ooh, no, that one's creepy.
This is just a naked man.
I don't like it. No, I don't like it.
Your potatoes.
What?
It's creepy.
He doesn't eat potatoes. Take it back.
What's wrong with that thing?
is
What
that
is
thing?
that?
They're called a bat.
A bat.
Well, thanks for that, McAnally.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I'm not gonna sit here and look at artist interpretations of the
There
Jersey
he is.
Devil anymore.
Ah!
I'm not gonna.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
Troll bogeys. Yep, that's the Jersey Devil. Remember when he was a dragon? Good job. Good job. Oh, there we go. Look.
Oh
He was
wow!
moving so fast they could
that's
barely catch
literally
the
just a
camera.
goat someone threw out of a tree.
Factor
on.
factor fiction, whatever. Factor fict.
There he is. Oh, they're teaming up.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Oh no! That was Sasquatch and the Jersey Devil. Okay, look, we got another episode to record. Let's do this.
Okay, all right.
Has anyone made an enemy sheet for Jersey Devil and D&D?
Sadly, no.
I'm sure Izzy would know all about that. Izzy,
yeah,
let us
let's
know.
ask Izzy.
Okay, so I have an email, one really long email this week. It's not really long, but it's a good juicy one. It is from our friend Rory again,
Ooh.
because he has good emails. That's why.
Yeehaw.
Okay, so we're just gonna jump right into it. He says, "Hey, my favorite waiter/hostess with the mostest at Spooklebees.
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 We don't talk about that.
You get dollaritas." He says, "What's going on? Sorry that this email is a little disorganized, long, and rambly." And he says, "Actually, I rescind my apology. You all keep telling me, keep on telling me to stop apologizing. So unsorry."
Oh.
Sick of
He
your
says-
crap.
He says, "Can I just say I love the minisode. Great move. I love it. Just what I needed. We did it just for you, Rory, not for any other reason, like getting more
Stop. It's too real.
what? We did it for him. That's what I'm saying."
We did it for the cold hard cash. Come on.
Yeah, I wish we were
It's,
making cash.
yeah, we're raking it in right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Many. Anyway, so he says, "Quick correction corner, or should it be corrections coroner?"
Oh.
Funny.
Oh, man.
He said, "Far Side comics are by Gary Larson." Hold on.
I believe
Gary Larson.
I asked.
Gary Larson.
You answered. Shame on
Wow.
I said Eric Larson, which is the guy who draws a different comic. Yeah.
you.
So you're
does he
right
draw
anyway.
the one that's currently in like the Sunday comics that rips off Far Side?
No, he drew a comic called Savage Dragon.
Was it?
It was savage.
Okay, anyway.
That's just the mod.
Rory
That's just the
says-
mod for Skyrim. Savage
Stop
Dragon.
it. He says that
Oh yeah.
that guy is genius. And I think the poltergeist scene you were describing, Mac, is where one of the paranormal investigators goes to eat the steak. The maggots come out, and then at a bathroom sink, he inexplicably starts peeling the flesh off his face.
Oh, yeah.
But I haven't seen it in a while either.
That's
I remember that for sure.
That's actually incorrect. Nice try, Rory.
Sure. He said, "I loved you guys' commentary on The Prodigy. It sounded like a truly terrible movie." Now I feel really bad.
Aw.
You guys should have another type of mini episode or official segment where you talk through a movie in its entirety and how much it sucked or walked. It would be best if Mac particularly hates it for some reason. I love this very specific critique. He's like our manager.
Yeah.
For some reason, his hate really reaches through the microphone in a hilarious fashion.
It's true.
Let's talk about Daddy's Home right now.
Daddy's home. Don't say the word daddy. It's ruined forever.
Daddy.
He continues, "Your talks about classy, scary child movies reminded me about a book I am currently reading. It's called The Turning of the Screw." Oh, I've heard about that. I did not know anything about it when I started reading it, but it seems like it is turning into a scary child story. It's a late 19th century novella, and interestingly, as discussed previously on So Anyway It's Haunted, there is a there is a preface on it that explains that it is being told around a campfire on Christmas Eve.
Ooh.
When I read that, it blew me away. It's about a lady who goes to an old estate to teach a couple of young children that are complete angels, or so it may appear. The estate is only inhabited by her, the children, and one other caretaker woman, and the ghosts of the previous teacher who died, and her lover who lived there and also died mysteriously. He says,
Daggone.
in parentheses, "I don't know how yet." It is interesting so far, and it has given me the creeps once or twice. He says, I find it interesting how timeless some stories are. I want to know who the first person was that came up with the idea of a creepy child story. The turn of the screw dates back to the 1890s, but I'm sure you could find some Egyptian hieroglyphics, or hieroglyphs is what he said. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That show a little girl in a white dress with black hair covering her face. He says it's out there somewhere.
Yep.
He says, I have heard, but haven't done extensive research on, another one of those things I could have Googled, but I'm lazy, that all human narrative can be boiled down into 7 types of stories. All stories are variations of these 7 skeletons. I find it interesting that stories like the creepy child story can fall under one of these 7 umbrellas that permeate nature and the human condition.
Yeah.
Are there new structures out there that the human mind is simply not advanced enough to comprehend or create? I'm sorry, that's a little metaphysical. You guys know that I served a mission for 2 years for my church in San Bernardino, California. In episode 22, you mentioned in passing that Route 66 has the teepee flavored hotels. Wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
Teepee flavored hotels.
TP flavored.
Oh, yeah. Tastes like leather, I think. I don't know.
What?
Maybe? I don't know. I used to live very close to that hotel. I never heard of it. I'm sorry. I never heard if it was haunted, but it was also close to a neighborhood informally called the Vertigo Flats. There were a few murders there, but no hauntings I know of. Not yet. He said, I'm sorry for the rambling. But one other thing. He says, Mac, your Bill Clinton impression was pretty good, but I'm not going to lie. No, he said, sorry, I read that sentence wrong. He said, Mac, your Bill Clinton impression was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Aren't you glad I pressured you into it? And it was I take all the credit. I take all the credit. And somehow I knew you were doing the Nixon peace signs while you were talking. Also, I wanted to bring up an old show that I loved watching as a kid. I think it would come on at the same time as when TGIF started, but on a different channel. I think it was CBS or something, or maybe the WB. Before its transformation and he said before, maybe on accident, I don't know. Before its transition and rebranding to the CW.
Oh, yeah.
We all loved antenna TV. Anyways, this show that I loved was called Beyond Belief.
Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction?
Yes. We love that. Dude. I got messed up watching that show.
I used to watch that show a lot on Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, it changed my life in a bad way.
Oh, really?
Yes, it made me afraid of shadows.
No, you're thinking of Tales from the Dark Side.
Was it Tales from the Dark Side?
Beyond Belief was when they looked at like 3 different stories or whatever, and they were like, is this real?
The mermaid,
but I can't remember if it was on that show or the other show that blind man had like a something living in the shadows in his house.
That sounds like Tales from the Dark Side.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I watched this one anyway.
Beyond Belief was the one where that guy had that weird paper curse.
Yes. Yeah.
And like paper would stick to him until
he started caring about the environment.
What?
Yeah.
It was just one of the episodes.
Yeah, that was super weird.
Okay. Oh, and also the plant, how they used the energy from the plant to tell who murdered, if this guy murdered his wife or whatever.
Oh, and Napoleon's hooded chair.
The hooded chair. I'm never going to sit in a hooded chair, I promise you. Ever. Like, ever. Okay. He said the premise is that for those of you that don't know, Rory says, the premise is that during this half-hour show, they will play 3 to 4 reenactments of a scary or supernatural event, some true and some false. At the end of the show, they will recap the stories, and a giant stamp of fact or fiction will appear on the screen. It was always fun to try and guess which ones would be true and which ones were baloney. Or is it spelled, he says, baloney as in Bologna. In parentheses, he says, or is it spelled baloney, Ney, in this context? One of these stories that I remember is about a couple of boys who shared a room. When they would go to bed, one of the boys would... I'm already freaked out. Why am I freaked out? When they would go to bed, one of the boys would always get scared and complain about a monster in the closet. This is normal for kids to be afraid of spaces they can't see and let their imagination get the better of them. But when you think about it, see, now I'm freaked out. because closets freak me out, man. I
Yeah.
had a closet thing when I was a kid. Okay. But when you think about it, what self-respecting monster would hang out in a closet and scare children? The easiest to scare demographic in existence, unless, of course, they've managed to convert screams into energy. I feel like that movie was really ahead of its time, but Pixar usually is pretty cutting edge. Towards the end of the story, the kid finally musters up the strength to face his fear and approach the closet. He slips out of his bed and tiptoed over to the closet. His brother was younger and didn't really believe it, but at the same time was scared by association. I don't know if you guys have had the experience of being somewhere not inherently scary, but you're still scared because the people you were around were scared. Yes. Absolutely. I think the situation was a little like that. He says, the boy stands in front of a closed closet door. His younger brother is hiding under his blanket, too afraid to look and see what might happen if a monster gets his brother. Will he be impaled, eaten, inflated? What? Oh, inflated like a balloon? He says, much like the frog and snake that Shrek and Fiona blew up. I'm sorry for all the animated movie references. The door creepily opened up on its own, leaving the boy standing in front of a blackness, devoid of light or any indication of life. It flashes to the little brother trying to peek over the covers to see a glimpse of what might have happened. Then you hear the door slam shut. The younger brother, frightened, slowly left his bed and walked over to the closet. He was visibly scared. Dude, I'm so freaked out. He gathers the courage to reach to the doorknob. He slowly twists it and lightly opens the closed door. He opens it up all the way and sees nothing. The closet was empty. It was empty except for a pile of clothes on the floor of the closet. The same clothes the older brother was wearing.
Wow.
Rory says, "What?" I thought to myself, this one is definitely fiction. So I waited until the end of the episode, and as I go through the results of the stories, this last one came up across the screen as fact.
What?
This crazy story that I dismissed from the start as a fake story that was invented to give someone a little scare was actually true. I couldn't believe it, and then I started to wonder what it was all about. Is this story about a portal to an alternate dimension, a dimension of naturalists? Or about a discreet child abduction? Or an alien abduction reminiscent of Mulder and his sister? Yeah. Shout out! Spooky Mulder. Love him. What's with the leaving the clothes behind? He said, anyways, this story struck me, and to this day, probably close to 2 decades later, I have never forgotten it. What the heck? You have to tell me what it's about.
Oh.
What? No, we need to figure it out. Gosh dang it. Well, okay. In 2 episodes, not the next episode, but in 2 episodes, I will have an answer for this.
Yeah. You need to do the research.
I guess.
Ooh.
I guess. He says, I think you can find episodes of Beyond Belief on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And we've definitely watched them. We watched them a few years ago.
Yeah. We watched them on like your Dish Network on demand thing. I think.
Yeah, that's true. He says if you have 10 minutes to spare, you should check out an episode or 2 of it. It is a little dated, but you might get a kick out of it.
I love it.
One of the best parts about it are the host and the pseudo creepy vibes he tries to invoke with the opening monologue, visual displays, and set design, which is like nothing. The set design is like
it's just like a dark room.
It's a dark room on a soundstage, but also it's like they have this one little sort of podium where there's like an artifact, like a pair of shoes or something, you know. He said, I loved it as a kid. He says, like always, it's been a pleasure, and keep up the good work, Rory, I mean, I know how to say his name so weird. The Spooker Not Stots. P.S. I'll try to cut down my emails a little in the future. I get a little wordy sometimes. We love it. Also, isn't it interesting that we're all into the paranormal, and he's like, hey, guess what I watched as a kid? Beyond Belief. And we're like, duh, us too. Which is interesting. And it's just interesting that, I don't know, these things shaped us as children, and now we're doing things like this.
Yeah.
All right, gang. Well, we will see you guys next week next episode in the mini episode. Ooh. We will have a listener horror story be read. So
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna be awesome. So find us on Instagram and Facebook at Anyway It's Haunted. We are also on iTunes, Spotify, on Stitcher, on YouTube. Definitely rate us on iTunes, dude. Just like hit the 5 stars or just give us a quick little like review. The more reviews we get, the more ratings we get, the more listeners and the bigger our fan base will get, and we're really excited to make new friends. All right, my dudes. We will see you guys next episode.
See ya.
Ciao.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
What?
Gross.
I've been waiting to say that for like weeks.